It's extremely hot today, and so this is this is the best you're gonna get. Took a little detour last week, didn't we? But we're back fully in 2026 now. So yeah, you had a few things drop today, like the Swap Meet album and some others, but I always knew it was going to be this today. Alright, it's me, I'm back again, and just like to draw your attention to the new album by Loathe called A Stranger to You. Somebody pinch me! The Metalcore Shoegaze Kings of Liverpool return. Is this real? We finally get a new album after a pandemic surprise blow up and delays of babies and marriages and surgeries, and this band are ready to do it all over again. Loathe, like their fellow UK bands Sleep Token, Static Dress and Holding Absence, are the latest crop of biggest group of bands in the scene since that explosion in 2006 from last week. If the Cold Sun was their adrenaline and Let It All In was there around the fair, is this their White Pony? In some ways, yeah. Just like White Pony, at first I wasn't so sure because of how different it is, but then I took it for a drive and it really unlocked it for me. It's a grower, not a shower. I went and saw the Odyssey last night, so all of my imagery whilst listening to this was that. Greek gods and giants and shit. What's on the menu today? What, Warner Child? We got 14 tracks for you, technically 11, running at 54 minutes. Starting with track 1, Entrance. Nice little piano intro with some spoken word from Bucky Sugar. Not much to see here, just a welcome into the world. Up next is track 2, Block of Flats, the second longest song on the album, with a long dreamy intro that sounds like a chopped slow dive sample into a really heavier section that breaks up again into the intro, but this time with the full band, and it's all very tight and clean. I wonder how people feel about all the low clean vocals before it explodes again into the glorious screaming that we know them for, to this fuzzy, full, distorted moment that gets increasingly heavier and lots of nice fills peppered around it, and then wide open space again. You get smashed around, you take a break, you get smashed around again, then rest again. Reverb, tom rolls, and a lush acoustic guitar, and some nice, almost ethereal singing comes in towards the end, and then a random, almost industrial sounding jam to end things off, and which is certainly the proggy vibe of this album. After that, we've got track 3, Fortress Down. I think this might be my favourite on the album, just lush, fuzzy shoegaze, and I love its subtle acoustic picking and upbeat staggered groove and climbing connector parts. It has a sort of nostalgia vibe of like how Millennium music sounds in my head, and I love the riff after that I Won't Let You Down lyric, and do wish this song was longer just because of how much I enjoy it. The You Were Crawling lyric sticks in my head for a long time afterwards though. Following that, we've got track 4, Gemini. Classic Loathe here at the start of this. Abrasive, crushing and screaming with groovy riffs that sound like controlled noise, and love the bending riff under the face that's fading lyric. Then randomly, Loathe go full Northlane in the last minute of this track, and you're in the club and it's very thick and pounding before trying to go back to the original track as it closes. It's a bit of a patchwork of a track, like a witch adding a new ingredient to the potion. Track 5 is Nothing Like the Knife. It's another instrumental, and I'll just say I think the ambient instrumentals were much better on I Let It In. And then we have track 6, Harder to Pretend. I like how dreamy this one is, though I do wish the clean vocals were a bit louder in the mix. Can't help notice, but they might have done a Blink-182, where it's one song for Kadeem and one song for Eric on this album, compared to, more tracks being together on I Let It In, and then some maybe auto-tune vocals come in, and it gets a bit dancey, Friendly Fires vibes, and then into like a cheeky little jazz fusion, little breakbeat moment, and some funky guitar comes in to join the lounge party, and the lads have got older and they're expanding their tastes. Up next, we've got track 7, Athena, which is another instrumental, this time quite glistening, pretty one, but we move on. Up next, we've got track 8, Revenants, the second single we got from the album, featuring ex-Code Orange members that I covered in one of my end of the month's videos when it dropped, and with its epic stab intro before the crushing riff and acidic atmosphere creeps in, it sounds like chili powder burning. And then we have track 9, The Way It Breaks, another fave on the album for me today, and I love the way he bends his vocal and does it break your heart the way it breaks mine, and love that little groove break it does before the second verse with those atmospheric glass type sounds, and it's a very sort of moody song by The Cure. Interesting choice to get a guitar solo guest. That said, I could have easily have had a 10-minute version of this song. It's also washed out and bounces off the walls perfectly. Lovely track that sticks in your head for ages afterwards. Up next, track 10, Meet My Maker. Another track that I really like on this, and I love the pre-chorus, back and forth vocals like me, then you, then me, then you. Speaking of sticking in your head, I love that say it again part, and I love how punchy the drums get in the second half of each chorus, and the way the guitars and the production are on this album sounds like you might think, is this Deftones? Is this Metalcore? Is this the White Stripes? Is this Queens of the Stone Age? But a really ace, fun drum jam at the end that I wish was longer, though I do like that lingering sound at the tail end. Up next is track 11, Fangs, the last single we got for the album that I covered in one of my end of the month videos, and now that I've heard it in the context of the album, is it the only song with synths? With its lounge jazz approach, I still am very obsessed with the just bass and hi-hat drums bit choice, and might be the catchiest chorus on the album. Granted, I've had more time with it compared to the other ones today, but if the band made it a single, they probably agree, or the label. And then we have track 12, The Ladder. It's the worst track on the album for me, a song that definitely makes you say, wait, is this the band that did Gourd? Following that, we got track 13, Gifted Every Strength. My song of the year last year, an absolute banger, and had me fully jacked up for the album today, which wish this song wasn't released over a year ago, so I was still riding that high today. And last but definitely not least, track 14, No Stranger to You. A heartfelt goodbye to the album that a lot of people have been eagerly awaiting for 5 years, and the band have been ignoring and accepting the pressure from the patients, and just sounds like they've made an album for themselves, and who cares about breakdowns when you can make songs like this? It's a very pretty, lovely final track, and I can see this one growing on me a lot during the rest of the year, and think it could have been a smidge longer as the outro to the album, like a endless fade out. You've had a few long videos recently, so I wanted this one to be a bit shorter for you as more of a tease so you can fully sink your teeth into the album, but so the floor is lava outside, and this is the best you're going to get today, I'm afraid, sorry. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully we don't have to wait so long for another one, right lads? Because boy is this a great album, and that is why it is my album of the week. No idea what's next, probably Charlie, but we shall see. Until then, like and subscribe, it really helps me. I hope it helps me. I do not understand the algorithm. It's a mess. But until then, peace.